All right, welcome back, everyone. This is Jack with Bonfire Locks. We got 5 picks for you guys, and we're going to preview the Thursday night matchup, Week 12, Bills, Texans. You can see right here. Before we get into it, please make sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. It takes 2 seconds. It's free, and it actually helps me out a lot. I know I've been watching YouTube for probably 20 plus years now. I never understood why people said that, but it does actually help a lot. As now someone on the content creation side, it helps a lot. So let us know. I always like seeing in the comments if you tailed or faded our picks. So again, we'll get into this game. A little quick recap from last night because I'm always transparent. Not great. NBA for us this season, we either sweep the board or get swept. There's literally no, like we sweep, which since these are DFS slips that we're doing, it's kind of the way you want to do it. You either want to win the whole thing or lose the whole thing. The other thing too, sailed us. We've been talking about this. We've been watching these first quarter overs, and they've been hitting a ton. Did not hit. The Golden State Warriors sold us. I really thought that they would. I knew that they were going to come out slow, but I thought they were just going to start hitting their threes, and they just didn't hit anything. They could not hit anything yesterday in the first quarter, and then they ended up getting blown out. It was a miserable game. And then to see here too, like Davion had 5 at half, didn't do anything after that. Durant had I pretty much called this game too. I said, it's going to be a back and forth game, going to be close, going to lead on their stars. Durant had 20 heading into the fourth quarter and didn't have any in the fourth quarter. So that's tough. But that happens. It happens. Again, too, if you want to then we'll show you guys last week's. You're going to want to hear about today's picks because last week we almost swept the board completely. In the video, we swept the board where I gave you guys the pick of Jets plus 13.5, then the DFS slip of Drake May, DeMario, Breece Hall, Mason Taylor. The Breece Hall pick was sweaty. That was one where the gambling gods were finally on our side, which was nice because in recent history they have not been on our side. Breece Hall had 50 rushing yards going into the fourth quarter. And I was like, look, and that's kind of what I was saying in the game. Pat's going to control it, but the spread of 13.5 was too much. They're going to lean on the passing game in the end. And if you actually watch the game, Fields wasn't that bad. Adonai Mitchell sold us. If Adonai Mitchell doesn't drop 5 passes, we would have gone 6-0. But it happens. Went 5-0, 5-1 last week. But yeah. So again, this is over on Winnable. Let me see. You go here. You get a free month by joining our Discord. Links in the description below. People talking games all the time. A lot of NBA, NFL, college football. Join the Discord to get a free month, a VIP. And then also, too, if you just want the free picks sent to your phone, again, you work 9 to 5, you want picks sent. I usually try to get these sent out around 3. So, when you're on the way home from work, you can put them in. And then VIP lifetime for all picks of my entire existence of doing this. So check that out. And now let's get into a preview of the game. So you can see here, Houston's at home. The spread is between 5.5, 6.5, depending on the book you're using. Again, I use Outlier just to kind of get the stats. Oh, also before this, or actually I have a thing I'll talk about later in the video, but it's a big thing coming up for us. Pretty much before I end, we're building an app. So very excited about that. But I use Outlier to kind of check the odds. You can also use an Action Network to check different odds on what you like. So if you want Houston plus 6.5, I'd go over to Hard Rock. That's what I use because I'm in Florida. You can see the Bills. I was also looking Player Profit has the Bills at 5.5. So the spread really is it's one of the, I would say, more lenient spreads I've seen in a while. There is actual variance between -5.5 and -6.5 on some books. So I would definitely look at that, get the best value for the pick that you want. And obviously, Texans are big at Texas are pretty big underdogs at home. Davis Mills is out, or Davis Mills is still the quarterback. Yeah, I just had to quickly review that, make sure. I was like, CJ Stroud's still out. I was like, want to make sure I wasn't giving you guys wrong info. Yeah, so Davis Mills versus Josh Allen. Josh Allen came off a big win at home. Let's look at these splits over the last couple of games for them. You can see here, Texans actually coming off of 2 wins. This Jags win was insane. Terrible for me. I had the Jags. I was like, there's no way Davis Mills beats Trevor Lawrence. The other thing, Jags have actually played pretty well this year. And then this was a massive game here. I stayed away from it. I would have taken Tampa, but I stayed away. And Tampa was actually kind of winning, covering. And then Todd Bowles just wanted to punt the ball for no reason. And that's how they went up 2 scores. But, again, I think this game will actually be closer than people think. I'm excited for it. A lot of these night games have sucked for us. And by us, I mean just the viewers. They've not been close. They've been tough. But let's now get into the picks. So we got 4 DFS picks for you guys, and then we have our player profit pick of the day. Sorry, I just showered. My nose is running. Okay, so the first pick we're going with, and I already placed this pick. We'll be placing it on Underdog. But first pick we're going with is Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz more than 38 receiving yards. I wish you could move this. I hate how you can't remove that. But anyways, looking here, he's really played well in his most recent games, even on the season too. On this season, let's look at season averages. He's averaging right around 50 yards per game in his last 5. Zoom in there. Averaging 60. He only had 1 bad game against the San Francisco team that's really good. They just blew out Arizona. You can see here he is trending down, but in a game like Buffalo, again, too, I said this in our Instagram and TikTok video, whereas in tough games, quarterbacks are going to rely on a lot of times check down running backs and their tight ends, especially too when they're not the better quarterback in the game. That they will take their chances down the field, try to get a big chunk play, but they're not as confident in that. So those deep balls, he'll probably throw 2 to 3 if I had to guess, but they're more really like Hail Marys. Throw the ball, hope someone's down there. But he's going to look to his tight ends. So I think this is where Dalton Schultz can really shine and get his over 38.5 total receiving yards. Now, the rest of the picks, we're going to the other side of the ball because I see a big game out of Josh. So the line's coming down. We got it originally at, we had it at 226. So just going to be faithful there. So Josh Allen, more than 226 passing yards. If you can get a lower number, definitely jump on it. 224, anything like that. But you can see here, he's on his way up. They had some tough games. The Bills now are also, as a Pats fan, I do like that they were losing, but they need to battle back for the AFC East. The Patriots are one in the driver's seat. They have the head-to-head, and they have a really easy schedule. The Bills have an easier schedule too, but the Patriots have the easiest schedule. So Pats are looking good to control and command the AFC East. So the Bills are going to do whatever it takes to get these wins, especially too on a short week on the road. You need to win this game. They can't go down because then they would be down 3 games to the Patriots in the AFC East. They'd have one head-to-head. They'd have one remaining head-to-head game, and then that's it. And then even if the Bills win that, then there's still 2 games behind the Pats, and that's kind of tough to come back from when the Pats really might lose 2 games the rest of the season, which is nuts to say after bad years we've had. But Josh is going to sling the ball down the field. I like this a lot. Next, we're sticking with the tight ends. I love the tight ends in this game. Dawson Knox is at 24, but we actually pulled this line down to 14 to make sure we get his. Again, I talk a lot about this in DFS slips. When you're doing these, I'm not a big parlay guy like in general, but when we do these DFS slips, I like to kind of choke some of the lines down to make sure you get it because yes, getting a 10x payout is fantastic. But if I can get better lines and be like, hey, I don't need the 10x payout. I'll take a 4x payout on my money any day of the week. That's what you want to see. And you see here, and this is why we do this, right? So at 24, he's only hit this twice in his last 10. Let's just look at the whole season, right? Okay, last 10. So he's only gone over 24 in 2 games this season. But if we just choke this line down, get good value for us, he's hit this in every single game besides 2, where he had 0 in these 2 games. And I think this will be very good for him. He gets in these high teens, low 20s range, which is, he gets his. He'll get his. And again, talking with like the tight ends, like when the quarterback's better, Allen's probably not going to look as much to the tight end as like Davis Mills will. But why are we in? Okay, yes, Dawson Knox. I saw Don Kincaid. I was confused. Kincaid's been back and forth. But anyways, I like Dawson Knox a lot. Again, some third downs, Josh will need to just check down, especially too. I could see him getting some yards in the red zone. So if you want to take like a anytime touchdown, I think Dawson Knox would also be a good play there. And our last pick is we're looking at same logic. We're going to Khalil Shakir, but we're choking this one down as well, and we're going to 34. So again, same logic. I like Shakir, but in the DF, I like Shakir a lot in this game, but I want to choke it down in the DFS slip because, I think it's an easier to get better value, and I think it's just a better play when you're parlaying a bunch of things together in these DFS apps. Now, 2 again, you can see here he's hit this in 7 out of his last 10 games. Excuse me, and I also like the fact that he didn't do anything in the last game. But I've also heard that Keon Coleman might be benched for this game again. It sounds like Keon's doing some off the field things that the team is not happy about. I think it's like missing games or missing practices or meetings. Keon's out. That just means more touches and more looks for Shakur, which I'm definitely pronouncing that wrong. But I think that'll be good. Big bounce back game after pretty much being non-existent in the last game. So those are our 4 DFS picks for you guys. Dalton Schultz, more than 38 receiving yards. Josh Allen, more than 226 passing yards. Dawson Knox, more than 14 receiving yards. And Khalil Shakir, more than 34 receiving yards. That'll get you about a 4.5x payout on Underdog, which is great. Now, our player profit pick of the day. If you're not familiar with player profit, pretty much the way it works. They also changed it. So they have the old accounts, but they have the new accounts as well. Pretty much, the biggest issue when it comes to kind of growing a bankroll in the sports betting world is money. It's what the bankroll is. You're limited in how much money you can make based off of what your bankroll is. So Player Profit came in, they're like, hey, let's take the logic that we found in sport and financial trading and apply it to sports, because in financial trading, same thing. You'll have these very good financial traders, but they don't have the money that these big banks do to trade and make massive profits. So it operates similar. Now they have this new challenge, which operates. Now you get faster payouts, which is fantastic. So beforehand, you had to, in the old version, you would have to go up 20, and then go up 20. Where is it? Go up 20%, and then you would, after pretty much going up 40 units, now you get a payout. This is the opposite. Now, phase 1, say you're on $1,000. It's easier to do it this way. Say you're on $100,000 account, right? Cost $2,000. Pass the first phase, pass 10 picks, go up 10% on 10 picks. You get $200. Boom, $200 right away. Then go into phase 2, 15 pick minimum. You get $4,000 payout. So just by winning the second phase, you double your money off the rip. Phase 3, same thing. You get a 10x payout on your money. And then phase 4, you get $100K. My goal is to have someone in our Discord be the first person on Player Profit to hit the $100K payout, which would be fantastic. And if you look here, the the profit margins, 10, 15, 25, 40. So go up 10%, go up 15%. So beforehand, you had to go up 20% just to move into the next round. Now, if you go up 25%, you 2.1x your money. Yeah. You double your money right away. Then you get 25, 10x. So the value is much better. I really like what the guys are doing over at Player Profit. So check that out. And we have a 10% bonus or 10% discount you can use using sign up promo code Bonfire. Now, our pick of the day is we're going back. Our last game, we did the same thing. We did a receiving yards, player receiving yards. Oh, Player Profit, they have player props here. So I'm looking player receiving yards. And I'm going back with Shakira, actually. So I like Shakira a lot at 42. I had taken the DFS slip before I more looked into this game, saw the reports that Keon was out. I think Shakira has a massive game today. Again, I think Allen's going to push the ball down the field. And I like him a lot. I think they're going to push the ball down the field. Keon will most likely be out. Shakira's going to get all the looks. I think Shakira's going to get in the 60, 70 range. Last week, our last Thursday night game, George Pickens did this for us in the first half, which is fantastic. So I'm going to put $1,000 on this. The other thing, too, that's great about Player Profit is once you have the account, you're not betting with your own money. You're making picks with their money. So even if a pick loses, I'm not worried about losing $1,000. I already have the account. I'm good. Excuse me. So those are the 5 picks we have for you guys. If you made it all the way here, if you're still listening to me talk, please make sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.